So I like to do these from memory, but there's a lot here, so I'm just going to read it. I'm not even going to try to hide.
That's okay.
Our next guest on Heart of the Hutch is a project manager, also a special projects lead in science education, with a background in leading cross-functional teams and administrating grant-funded research programs. There's a lot of sort of corporate lingo,
it's quite the mouthful.
Chat stuff there. Can you break some of that down and just kind of explain what you do?
Fred Hutch is kind of a unique place in that people often are doing a lot of different things, right? That's kind of the nature, I think, of nonprofit and grant funding. And so I'm one of those people. So I direct an internship for undergraduates here at the Hutch. I also manage a grant that's a partnership grant with New Mexico State University that's funded by the National Institute of Health.
Wow.
And so project management there is, grant progress reports, grant writing, budget management, sort of timeline management, all of that kind of 30,000-foot perspective stuff.
That's a lot of skill sets.
Right.
You're just jamming all together.
All into one, right? And then I also lead special projects for the science education team, which is kind of bringing together folks from all of our different internship programs or initiatives to try and sort of streamline processes and lead kind of, again, that big picture strategy for SciEd.
So this science education business, it is something that when I started here almost about a decade ago, I had no idea that Fred Hutch was so involved in academic pursuits for even young people. Like there's high school interns here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
The campus is going to be flooded with high school kids, with undergraduate kids.
This training lab specifically, is going to be full of students. It really feels like the campus comes alive, and you see so many young people walking around. Even just yesterday, there was a school tour of students from Oregon that were walking around campus. They did an activity here in the training lab and then kind of touring around. So seeing them and stopping to say hi and welcome them and tell them a little bit about the public health that's going on over in the building I work in. It's really exciting. And it's a little bit less visible sometimes, but the reality is these programs have been around at the Hutch for years. So the summer program I direct has been around in some form since the 90s, right? Wow. The summer high school internship program has been around for, I think, at least 20 years. And there's a program for teachers that's been around before then. So these programs are really kind of long-standing and foundational, I think, to what Fred Hutch is doing.
So one of my greatest successes as a child was in a summer science enrichment program.
Yeah,
5th grade.
Oh, that's awesome. What'd you do?
Midvale Elementary School.
Okay.
The Uber conversation, the thing that everybody was doing was weather. What's weather? Like this was before climate change was a thing, right? What's
the good
weather
old days,
and how does it work? And my thing was, well, the sun is pounding on the earth 24 hours a day. It's heating up the air and it's causing temperature differentials, which causes high pressure and low pressure. I'm going to prove that to you with a hot air balloon.
Nice. Okay.
So I did experiments down in my basement with my dad where we tried all kinds of big plastic dry cleaning bags and metal hoops and pieces of cotton soaked in alcohol that would burn and fill up.
So you were actually burning things?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. In my parents' house.
I'm sure your dad is thrilled about that.
And we came up with actually, like most of them went too hot and the thing would burst into flames. And I thought that would be bad at school. But we came up with...
Bad enough in the house, Robert.
We came up with a design that was basically a wooden X made out of balsa wood with birthday candles on it. Because the secret was a low, slow flame.
Okay.
And I learned that 9 candles got it so it was neutrally buoyant. Like it would just float.
Yeah.
I didn't join that to be neutrally buoyant. I joined it to win it.
Yeah.
Right? So the morning that we did the experiment at the big science fair, I put in 10 candles.
Just a little bit over. You're like, I'm not going to go crazy, not 15, just 10. Yeah.
So I'm lighting them up. My science teacher's holding it and lighting it up and it's starting to fill.
Nice.
And suddenly it becomes neutrally buoyant and he lets go and the thing starts to float. In the gym with hundreds of kids.
Open flame floating away.
Flying through the sky.
That's awesome. Did you win? That had to have won.
I totally won.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. See, and we're bringing students to come and do kind of the same thing, right?
Tell me about this mentoring business you and your teammates do with these young people.
So a lot of our programs and almost all of our sort of internship programs at the Hutch prioritize providing opportunities to students from historically excluded backgrounds in the sciences. So our teams take that really seriously, and mentoring is one of the most rewarding parts of my job. It's why I've been here for so long and in my role for so long, because I really enjoy connecting with the students and providing that support. It looks a little different for kind of all of our programs, but I think we all really try to tailor the support we provide to what the students need, right? So there's some internships or programs, I think, where students come in and it can be very, very top down, right? Of like, you will go to graduate school or you will go to medical school, and here's what you need to do.
Because you got to get on a track, right? Like,
you definitely
can't deviate.
Right? But I think it's important to sort of enable the students the space to explore and figure out what they want to do on their own, and really listen to them and empower them to tell you what they want, and then help navigate them to get there, right? So if they come to me and they say, well, I'm thinking about graduate school, but I'm just not sure yet, I want to help get them in touch with current graduate students, with people who are working in research that don't have a PhD, right? To try and help inform their decision, and then come to them with resources. So then if they really talk to all these folks and decide, no, I really do want that PhD, then I'm like right there helping them figure out the timeline for applying, looking at their personal statement, all that kind of stuff. So I think we really try to sort of tailor the support to the individual students. And honestly, that's really all they need, right? Is sometimes a cheerleader, like someone who can be there and just say...
to hold the bag.
Yeah, exactly. Someone to hold the bag and say, you know what, light that one extra candle. Yeah, let's go for it.
So Fred Hutch feels very mission-driven, but my mission is different from Tom Lynch's mission, different from your mission. What's your Fred Hutch mission?
To support and inspire students to achieve their goals. And I think I'm able to do that sort of through all of the different corporate-y titles that I have at the Hutch, right? I think that's kind of the one thread that pulls through all of them, is really striving to support students in achieving their goals and making them feel valued and making them feel like they can do anything.
So last question, one thing I noticed while I was researching is you have a minor in journalism. Yeah. And I suddenly get why you're so good on camera. You've been doing this video series, Between Two Flasks.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. We're here again with an episode of Between Two Flasks. I'm Marilyn. I'm here with
I think of the skills of a journalist. They're basically the things you do. So tell me about your journalism minor.
So I was really interested in writing, and I was trying to think through careers that would let you write. And that's sort of what led me to the journalism minor. I also majored in comparative literature and classics, which is Greek and Roman history and literature. So the kind of the poster child of a liberal arts education. Yeah. So it was kind of a jump, right, to get into the field I am in now. But I think some of those skills, like you said, sort of the ability to talk to people and be on camera and provide mentorship and write. That all kind of, and communicating effectively, right? I think that all came from my literature major and my minor in journalism. So it's worked out. I think that's all we can do is kind of pull together the pieces of our story and our life, and somehow we end up here.
Yeah. Well, that's a great place to end. Yeah. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it.